name is Funimation, and today I'm going to be talking about the first 7 episodes of Sekirei. I probably mispronounced that. Hopefully not. So, this is an ecchi harem anime, and it's about as by the numbers as they get. You've probably seen all of this anime's tricks before, you've seen its characters, you've probably seen just about everything this anime has to offer, except its plot! And its story. Bad pun that was. So the story is basically about this company called MBI. They have taken this city and are wanting to host a battle royale, secret battle royale. But then they take over the city later on, so it pretty much completely destroys the whole secret bit of it, and the Sekireis do kind of battle in the middle of the streets and occasionally destroy buildings, and now that I think about it, the whole, oh, it's supposed to be kept secret thing is kind of dumb. Point being, there are these people, both male and female, called Sekireis. They are searching for people called Ashikabes, probably mispronounced that, and if I did, my apologies. If they find their Ashis can awaken their powers, and the Sekireis basically become theirs. Given the Sekireis do choose them, but they do basically follow their Ashis once their Ashis have awakened them. The whole point is, the Sekireis are supposed to battle each other, so their whoever's left, their Ashikabe, may ascend to the heavens and send to the gods, and that bit, at that point, loses me. I'll be honest, it's kind of interesting. I'll admit, it is interesting, but if you asked me, if this was just a slice of life harem ecchi, I'd be perfectly happy with it. But I'm weird and kind of boring, so meh. I think the action in this series is really bad. It's got no sense of scale, weight, or snap. Everything just sort of happens and it just has no punch to it. A good fight, a good action scene feels like some things are getting destroyed, and yeah, the action in this series is pretty forgettable. I mean, every Sekirei has their own powers, like our main chick here, she's a fist type, and then there's a water type, and then there's electric types, and Ecchi-mon! Gotta get them all! So they're fan service! Oh god, I probably just killed your ears there, my apologies. My point is, I kind of got a Pokemon feel from it because it was kind of funny how she's a fist type, she's electric. It was funny. You'd think that'd make for some interesting fights, but regretfully, they're not very interesting or very fun. Hell, they don't even do the whole, oh, her clothes have been torn in the fight. I mean, they do occasionally do that, but not as ecchily as they probably should. In the end, the action's pretty forgettable. What about the characters? Like I said before, you've seen all of these characters before. There's the Water Sekirei, who is your generic standard tsundere, nothing to mention there. Our main chick, who's your happy-go-lucky main chick in a harem. I have no idea what the character type's called, but yeah, you've seen her before. The main character, who is a useless bastard who gets all of the girls because every ecchi protagonist in the history of anything ever has to get every single girl, have the girl fall in love with them because I don't bloody know. The lolly is arguably my favorite character. Please don't call the FBI. Not for that reason, because, for one, she's a character who is clearly a child that they do not sexualize in any way, so, you know, props to the anime. I can't clap because my hand's on the camera, but props to you, anime. But instead of making her fan service, they made her comic relief, and bloody hell is she hilarious. She just goes, rah, 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 and holds onto the guy's leg, kind of like a cat or something. It's adorable. She's both really cute and really funny. She's, without a doubt, my favorite character in this anime. And there's a whole host of other characters, like there's this chick who runs the place where the main character lives at. She's, kind of scary. It's pretty much all I can describe her. She's their landlady who also can scare the living piss out of pretty much anyone. There's this one chick called the Black Sekirei who's a psycho motherfucker. And no, she's not black, she's just simply, where's black? I don't know why they call it the Black Sekirei. Genuinely, no idea. There's this one dude who has fire powers, who's also a Sekirei, because like I mentioned before, there are male Sekireis, and yeah, actually, I can't really think much more about him than, hey, he's fire and he's kind of cool. Bit emo, but in a good way. One thing I'm kind of hoping to see later on in this, because I am going to finish this anime, the main character has a sister. His sister has found herself a male Sekirei, and he's pretty sure that can awaken him. And there's another character in this series, the guy with the fire hands, who is also a Sekirei. I kind of want to see a subplot where the main character's sister ends up getting her own harem, because that would actually be pretty bloody funny. I mean, it doesn't have to happen, I just would find it kind of fun. Overall, you've probably seen all these characters done 100 times in better animes with better fan service, but they're still alright characters, nothing wrong with them. The animation looks pretty good. All in all, the boob design's nice, the character designs are nice, the background animation's not too bad. Again, the fight scenes are pretty lackluster, but other than that, I think the animation's overall aged pretty well. Regretfully, there's not a whole lot more to say about the first 7 episodes. The first 7 episodes is basically about the main character building his harem Sekirei army, and the last 7th episode is the battle finally beginning, because the first 7 episodes are all the Sekirei's awakening, and the 7th episode is the start of everyone actually fighting each other. Maybe I'll get some cool action scenes then, but until then, meh. Oh, I forgot to mention the characters. There's this pervy chick with glasses. That's pretty much it. The fan service is overall pretty nice. It's not the most gratuitous you'll ever see. It's not nipple sucking and groping like a Testament of Sister New Devil or Quasar of Stigmata. It's closer to a high school DxD. Not as frequent and not as sexy, but it's still kind of there where it's like, ooh, boobs, and ooh, she's showering, and ooh, she's taking off her clothes, and yeah, it's just, ooh, boobs, nothing more to it, but perfectly fine fan service. And in case you're wondering, yes, it is uncensored, depending on which release of the anime you see. Overall, Sekirei is a pretty by-the-numbers ecchi harem, but I actually enjoy it. But I like uncensored ecchi harem animes. That's just sort of my thing. I like the characters. They're generic stereotypes, but in a good way. I mean, there are a few that might not be stereotypes by the line, but for the most part, the main characters are pretty generic. The story is interesting enough. I mean, I've heard by far more interesting stories, but equally I've heard by far worse stories, so, Not recommended if you don't like ecchi harem animes, but if you do like yourself an ecchi harem anime and you have happened not to have seen this one, I do recommend it if you like the genre. Would you like me to do a review for Season 1 of Sekirei? Because I am going to finish the season. So if you'd like me to do a full-on review for the first season, let me know in the comments below. But if you don't, that's fine, because this video is far easier to make than an actual review would be. If you'd like to consider subscribing, it would be much appreciated, and if this is the first video of mine you have ever seen, my sincerest apologies. Yes, I screw up my words quite often, far worse more than often than this. Just showed you right there how often I screw them up. Either way, thank you so very much for watching, have a nice day, and goodbye. Boobies.